For our project, we decided to visit the grave of Jefferson Davis at Hollywood Cemetery in Richmond, as well as the graves of thousands of Confederate soldiers that were also buried there.
On the way to Hollywood Cemetery, we passed through downtown Richmond City and made our way towards the river where the cemetery is located.
When we first arrived at Hollywood, we noticed how large the cemetery is. In fact, Hollywood Cemetery is 135 acres in total and is the second most visited cemetery in the nation.
Here we are in the depths of Hollywood Cemetery.
The first place we visited in Hollywood Cemetery was Davis Circle, where Jefferson Davis and his family are buried.
So, many don't know, but Jefferson Davis actually died in New Orleans.
And we learned that although Davis is buried here in Richmond, he actually died in New Orleans, and his body was moved to Richmond after his death.
Jefferson Davis.
We did some further research about Jefferson Davis before visiting. Prior to becoming the President of the Confederate States of America, Davis was a senator in the southern state of Mississippi and 23rd Secretary of War in the United States. He was born in Christian County, Kentucky, now called Fairview, on June 3, 1803. Jefferson Davis grew up in Mississippi, where he attended a boarding school as a child. As a young adult, Davis attended West Point, starting his military career.
Did you know that Davis was born just 100 miles away from where Abraham Lincoln was born and 8 months earlier? Wow!
Davis is not the only famous leader to be buried here. It is also the final resting place for 2 American presidents, 6 Virginia governors, 2 Supreme Court justices, and 22 Confederate generals, as well as thousands of Confederate soldiers.
Visiting Davis's grave was a very moving experience, and it made us all think about the impact that the Civil War had on our country. Although Davis was on the wrong side of history, it's important that we don't try to erase it, but instead learn from it.
After we visited Davis's grave, we went to the memorial for the thousands of Confederate soldiers who were buried at Hollywood Cemetery.
Do you know where the pyramid is for the Confederate Memorial?
The first thing that struck us was how many graves there were. All we could see were rows of graves one after another.
We see a lot of flags here today, which we think is because of Memorial Day that was celebrated yesterday, May 29th, 2007.
There was also a huge pyramid that was built as a memorial for the women of the Confederacy in honor of those women who dedicated their lives to their cause.
All in all, the experience was extremely thought-provoking for all of us and uncovered a side of the Civil War that we sometimes overlook. It made all of us aware of the toll that was taken on both sides, especially for the Confederate soldiers who gave their lives to a misguided cause.